Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostle elders, the great millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shati from the Chicago camp coming back to you for what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And this is on Gravitas, and it says biblical plague, 503 people stung by scorpions in Egypt. So we'll let this play and get some scripture.
Last week, there was a scorpion invasion in Egypt. It was accompanied by a fierce storm. It all happened in the city of Aswan, the largest city in southern Egypt. Aswan was hit by heavy rain, thunder, and flash floods. This drove hundreds of scorpions out of their burrows into the homes of the residents of the city. What happened next? The scorpion stung hundreds of people. 500 ended up in hospital. And now we've come across stories of wild scorpion attacks, but 500 people getting stung in one night is unheard of. Egyptians are drawing all sorts of parallels. They're comparing it with biblical plagues. Here's a report.
Now, see, why is it when stuff like this happens, it's always biblical plagues? You never hear anybody talk about these are Islamic plagues or Hotep plagues or Confucius plagues. All right? When stuff like this happens in the world, they think about the Bible. Just something to think about. Let's continue.
Egypt is a mysterious place. And no, the puzzling pyramids of Giza are not the only reason. What makes Egypt mysterious are also stories like these. 500 people getting stung by scorpions. This happened in Aswan, the largest city in southern Egypt. Last week, the city was hit by a fierce storm. There was heavy rain, thunder, and flash floods. It sent the people of Aswan scurrying for dry land from their mud brick houses. Awaiting them at home were some deadly guests. Hundreds, if not thousands, of fat-tailed scorpions with their tails full of toxic venom. They'd been swept from their desert burrows by the rains. They burst into homes through cracks in the walls. On Friday night alone, the scorpions stung a total of 503 people. All of them had to be treated with antivenom. Some of them are still hospitalized with symptoms of fever, pain, sweating, muscle tremors, and diarrhea. As for the scorpions, they've disappeared back into their burrows. An estimated 31 species of them live in Egypt. This includes the Androctonus, which are thought to be the deadliest scorpions on Earth, and the so-called Deathstalker scorpions, which sting dozens of Egyptians each year. But 503 bites in one night is unheard of, that too on a day of incessant pouring. The news may sound like the story of a biblical plague, but it has a modern explanation: climate change. The rains in Aswan have been the heaviest in 7 years, but rarely have residential areas been flooded, that too with scorpions. Egyptian meteorologists say it's all connected to climate change, which has hurt Egypt's olive and date harvests, turned vast swaths of farmland into desert, and now it is causing rainstorms in a desert city with scorpions on the loose. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app.
Yeah, there is a modern day explanation for all these things. It's still the Lord. Okay, when you get the scripture, it says, I was going to get that. Okay, this, what's it? Isaiah? Isaiah 45:7. It says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. Scorpion plagues of biblical proportions. I, Yahweh, do all these things. So regardless if you want to call it biblical because you didn't know how something like this could have happened in the biblical days, and now you have a modern day explanation, it's climate change. Well, who controls the weather? The Lord. The scripture just said, I, the Lord, do all these things. And what does he do? He sends plagues upon the earth because its sins and its wickedness has reached up into the heavens. Because when you go to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, I think it's 59. 28 and Deuteronomy 28 and 60, it says, moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will Yahweh bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. Okay? And what's a plague that was not written? A plague of scorpions, because we all know originally in Deuteronomy 28, these things were meant for us. But when we go to Deuteronomy 30:7, it says, and Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which have persecuted thee. Okay? And what's a plague that the Lord is bringing upon the physical land of Egypt and the inhabitants thereof? Ecclesiasticus is sometimes referred to as Sirach 39 and 30. And it says, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon the earth when need is, which was this time. And when their time has come, they shall not transgress his word. So when the Lord sent that huge rain, as the woman said, that Egypt has never seen before in its entire history, it drove all them scorpions out of the desert into a major city where they just wreaked havoc on everybody. The woman said certain people get stung throughout the year, about 13, 20, that's not a big deal. That's things that they expect. But 503 people sent to the hospital? That is completely unheard of. She said that's of biblical proportions because something like this has never happened, which goes to show you that the Lord is truly working upon the earth right now. Okay, when you read in Revelation, it tells that that the angels had to hold back those four winds. Now, ultimately, that's culminating in the nuclear missiles. Let me just do 4. Okay. Revelation 7:1. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. Okay, like as I said before, ultimately that's talking about the nuclear missiles. All right, but you have to remember the Lord is holding back a lot of other things outside the nuclear missiles. And one of these, as we see in this video, are scorpions of biblical proportions. Okay, you think that's the only thing the Lord is holding back? You see these other places are getting hit with floods. They're getting hit with rats, scorpions, cobras, ladybugs, crabs, drought. Okay? There's still a whole lot of things the Lord is holding back. Okay, we still have yet to see other things that happened during the old time of Egypt. Gross darkness that you can feel, the plague of the mind, even though some of that's playing out. Okay? So this stuff that you're seeing right now, this is only the beginning. The The Lord is just warming up. He hasn't hit the full stride yet. He's still warming up with that jog. Because when the Lord starts sprinting, hey, that's when the scriptures say folks are truly going to know that there is one power, there is one God, and he is the God and the power of the Israelites. So that's all I wanted to say on that. I hope you all are edified. Until the next time, we're going to say shalom.